Have you ever taken a job interview and you realized, I am underqualified for this role? And then you totally psych yourself out and you don't get the job. I've been in recruitment for 15 years, and in today's video, I'm actually going to teach you how to nail that interview even though you are underqualified. Let's go. Now, first things first, I want to say, underqualified, that is a perspective, not a fact. So if you're interviewing for a job and you say to yourself, I am underqualified, I am not going to get this job. They are going to hire someone else who has more experience. That is just your opinion. It is not factual, and you believing it doesn't necessarily make it true. The reality is, if you make it to an interview round, you have a chance to be hired. I have interviewed thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And over the 15 years, I have never said, let me interview this person who has no chance of getting a job. So first and foremost, even though you are underqualified, my friend, you are in the game. Now, a really important point I want to bring up is that most people who get hired are not 100% qualified. In fact, most people, you look at the job and you look at the must-haves, you look at the nice-to-haves, most candidates do not have 100% of those things. And the reason that is because people aren't typically willing to make a move from one job to another if they are already 100% qualified, because it doesn't represent any growth. That is what we call in the industry a lateral move. Most people, when they are looking to make a move, it is a move up. And when that happens, typically you are not 100% qualified. So if you feel you are underqualified for a role, guess what? Welcome to the club. Everybody is technically underqualified for the role that is above them, but that's typically where people are looking to move. But you will not do yourself any favors if you forget something critical prior to actually interviewing for the role. That is why I have made a free pre-interview checklist. If you go down to the pinned comment, click on that, you'll get it for free. I just want to make sure you don't forget anything. Okay, I want to talk about the 80% rule. And the 80% rule is a rule that exists in recruiting. And basically it states this: if a person is 80% qualified to do a job, that is a hireable candidate. If they meet 80% of the must-haves and the nice-to-haves, that is a hireable candidate. So I want you to keep that in perspective. Even if you feel like, I do not meet everything, again, do you meet 80% of it? Because if you meet 80% of it, you are probably in line with everyone else who is interviewing. Okay, so mindset is a really big part of it. But now that you have that mindset right, what can you do? Well, there's a few things. I think it is really important as a candidate who is underqualified to stand out when it comes to preparation. So what does that mean? Well, it means one, you need to practice being a great candidate. So I have a lot of videos on this channel. You can go and watch interview questions and answers. You need to prepare. This video here, this is a good idea. This is the most common interview questions you're going to get asked, and it teaches you how to answer them. So go watch this video. But additionally, you want to stand out as someone who is informed about the company and is informed about the company culture. So what I would recommend you do is I would go to the company's page, and I would learn about their products and services, and then I would go to their About Us page, and I would really lean in to identifying yourself as a culture fit. Look at their cultural values, and in the interview, you want to talk about that. You want to say, one of the things that really impressed me about your company while I was doing my preparation for this interview is one of your core values is blank, and that really aligns with me personally. Statements like that align you as a culture fit, as someone who is in value alignment, and that gives you an advantage in the interview. Additionally, when you're really informed about the company, you know, of the products, services, history, you go to Google, type in their name, hit news, you read recent articles about the company, and you're really informed about current events, their current challenges and initiatives, you can use that in the interview to come across as someone who is incredibly well informed. That gives you an advantage. Maybe you don't meet all the qualifications, but if you are a culture fit who understands the company's products and services, and understands the challenges they face in the market and the direction they're going, that's a huge advantage, and most candidates don't give themselves that advantage. Now, the next thing that you have to do, and this is critically important, is you need to be prepared to answer questions about things you don't necessarily have experience in. They're going to ask you questions where you don't have the experience, but you need to have a good answer. And it's why I made this video here. This video here essentially teaches you how to do that exact thing. So you just watch this video, go watch this one, and then you are going to crush that interview. I will see you over there, friend.